Large employers are required to file a form in regards to health insurance with the Internal Revenue Service. If you don't file the forms, you get hit with very large penalties. I've seen this happen when taxpayers have some sort of event that happens in their life and they forget about it until they got the letter from the IRS and were assessed huge penalties for the form not being filed. We had a client during COVID. Their comptroller left, so they didn't realize that a lot of forms were not being filed properly. The CEO of the company did not realize that large employers are required to file a form, and it compiled quickly, and the penalty for each year that it was not filed was $250,000. Before they knew it, the business had a federal tax lien for $1.5 million. That lien definitely scared the company, especially the fact that they didn't know about it. And what happened was the IRS was sending certified letters to the employer, but the employer had a majority of their workforce working from home. So they didn't see the notices that they got from the IRS, which happens a lot. The IRS sometimes will have the wrong address for a taxpayer. And if the IRS sends notices to the wrong address, you're still responsible for whatever your tax liability is. With a $1.5 million federal tax lien, the client engaged us to start working on the case. We called the revenue officer that was assigned to the case, explained the situation. They informed us that the employer never filed the health insurance requirement forms. We called the taxpayer. We worked with their new CFO to get the forms filed. Once we got all the forms filed that were missing, we then worked with the IRS to get the penalties abated that were assessed against the taxpayer. We did have to take this case to appeals, but we ended up winning in appeals. We were able to get a release of the lien. Not only that, a $1.5 million lien would have decimated the company and put them out of business too, if the IRS would have levied their bank accounts for $1.5 million. It was important that they hired someone else like us to handle the case because first off, all the forms needed to be filed to get them compliant, or they were just going to keep racking up penalties. They were going to lose all the money from the sale of the property that they were trying to sell. It all would have went to go pay off the IRS. And it's a lot easier to get penalties abated than it is to get money back from the IRS.